Big fantasy football is on to me. We've already talked about the waiver wire, but I went from site to site to site from Big Fantasy Football, looking at their big waiver wire articles, and we're going to talk about the top names being discussed off the waiver wire right now. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at these players every day. We're looking at the waiver wire every single day, from one angle to another, going deeper by the day. Tomorrow, we're looking at all the running backs and wide receivers, so stay tuned to that. Also, we're going to help you set your lineups by looking at the rankings and every single matchup, every single game for the rest of the year. And then we're doing deep dives on all the trending players, and we got some to do this week because some injuries are coming up. Saquon, Marion Hampton, a little bit more. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair. Sam Darnold's getting mentioned. The thing about this, I do not expect him to be on the waiver wire on many leagues. Maybe a few, but I'm catching start-sit questions with him in almost every live that I do. So I believe he's rostered, so he's not really a waiver wire dandy, but Big Fantasy Football's talking him up as so. So he might be on your waiver wire, he might not. I know they got roster percentages and roster rates. I don't look at that too often. I kind of just got a good feel from talking with you guys. Like, if I get a lot of questions about Sam Darnold, more than likely he's not on the waiver wire. He might be, though. Sam Darnold, though, he's been killing it. He's in good game scripts. He's been pushing downfield. He's got Jaxson Smith-Njigba. We got some matchups coming up that could be advantageous. Jaxson Dart. Yeah, he's been running it. 17 carries in his last 2 games. His only 2 games really as a starter. 40 pass attempts against the Saints. We do have Philly. We do have Denver. We do have Philly again. And then the 49ers. It could get rough. He has not been the greatest NFL quarterback. He's been all right for fantasy. But he'll take off with it. He'll scramble and get you yards. And he gets yards on a big clip whenever he takes off with it. From here on forward, with some of these rougher matchups, I look at him as a gamble if you need him for your lineups. Hopefully, you're already good at quarterback. Hassan Haskins. Marion Hampton went down. He's the next guy up in terms of touches up the gut, getting volume. He was getting volume, I guess, when Marion Hampton was there. Marion Hampton was getting almost like 92% of the rushing attempts. He was getting almost all the opportunities out of the backfield. Hassan Haskins was just running a few routes, running a few sprints, giving him a blow before he went down. His snap rate jumped up pretty big. Hassan Haskins played at Michigan, had some time with Harbaugh there. He's good between the tackles. He's a big physical running back, and you're looking at him to score touchdowns. That's where he's going to make his money. He's going to get a little bit of work in the passing game. He's going to soak up some volume, but you're looking for him to cross the goal line. Kimani Vidal in this situation here. So this is another Arizona Cardinals backfield situation where we're trying to guess the running back. It's going to be shared. It looks like it's going to be damn near 50-50, 60-40, something like that. The hot hand's going to win out. Hassan Haskins, good vision. Kimani Vidal's more explosive. He can catch the ball in the backfield. They used him catching balls out of the backfield last year in the passing game. He had that big catch for the touchdown last year, as we talked about him and talked him up as a rookie. But this is his time to step it up. We got a good matchup on the road against Miami. We got the Colts coming up. And then after that, we got the Vikings and Tennessee on the road. We got to see if we can convert. Another thing, I would not be surprised if this team trades for another running back. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised they'd trade after Alvin Kamara, maybe Jerome Ford, maybe somebody else. I would not be surprised. Maybe even with the Eagles, they got a plethora of running backs right now. I would not be surprised if they make a deal. However, the Eagles are dealing with their own situation, who is a new one, and their situation's not brought up. Saquon's banged up, would not have been practicing today. We got to see what's up with that. So more than likely, you're going to have to pay up a little bit more if you want one of their backs, Chargers. But Kimani Vidal, he catch the ball in the backfield. He's explosive. Pick your poison here. Pick who you like. I think it's going to be a 50-50 shot in terms of odds of who's going to hit. I think they're just going to roll the hot hand, and there's a chance they trade for another back. Kyle Monangai, money guy, our dude. And he's coming off the bye week. There's a chance that we earn a little bit of a larger role, or maybe something happens to Swift, but he's one of their top lottery ticket handcuff running backs. We have a bunch of them. If you got one of those other guys that we like rostered, it's also cool. But Kyle Monangai has a lot of upside in this offense. They're always in fire game scripts, and I think eventually he's going to be getting some opportunities here. If something happens to Swift, he's going to be a big money running back prospect. Brashard Smith is playing tonight, but I like Brashard Smith a lot. He's getting more work. He's getting more opportunities. He's like a hybrid running back wide receiver, so he's got his own role out there. And you're seeing the work rate increase, and we're going to watch him tonight. But he's a guy that you need to chase off the waiver wire. He's got a lot of name cachet. He's on the Chiefs. They're going to switch things up throughout the year. They're trying to get him worked more into the system. They've been mentioning him a lot in the media. There's a lot of upside with him. He's a good lottery ticket play. Manny Wilson. Last couple games, he's been getting more opportunities. 8 rushing attempts, 3 targets. Against the Cowboys, though, that game script was sped up. A lot more plays ran in that matchup. Coming off bye, if something happens to Josh Jacobs, Manny Wilson will be up next. It was like that last year. And then also, like randomly throughout last year, he got you some double-digit PPR fantasy production. Not the sexiest running back, but good vision, good contact balance. And then MarShawn Lloyd's on IR right now. You can stash him on IR. He's an upside play. Hoard him there. Wait for him to come back. But he's going to come back eventually. He's a very explosive running back that they drafted in the 3rd round. They want to see what they got in him. He's been banged up. He was banged up last year, banged up this year. He hasn't proved whether or not he's good or bad for the NFL, let alone fantasy football, or for the Packers. He's just been banged up. And if he comes back, something happens to Josh Jacobs, he looks explosive, this could be a guy that helps you out. He's on IR, so that's a free spot. So if you drop a player, pick him up, just pick up another lottery ticket handcuff running back. Jalen Coker, same thing. Now they're going to use him when he comes back. They're opening the 21-day window Wednesday, so expect him back in the next few weeks. Stash him on IR. Drop your last player, pick another handcuff running back up. There's a bunch of them right now. Something's going to give with some of those running backs anyways. All it takes is a starter to go down. You got him on IR. Eventually, you'll pop him back up to your lineup. When he's back, he's going to be running a lot of routes, gaining a lot of opportunity. And this might help jumpstart the Panthers' offense. Maybe a little bit. Maybe not a lot. But he had some good games last year. He made some big plays. And he was doing it in preseason as well. Ryan Flournoy killed it this week. Killed it. 18.4 PPR fantasy points. Good size, adjusted athleticism. Was getting deep routes downfield, deep targets downfield. And this is an offense that can push the pace. This is also a coaching staff that seems like they can adapt and change throughout the year. And Jalen Tolbert didn't hit last week or yesterday. But still, Ryan Flournoy could be a guy that you just pick up and hold on your bench to just see if this is a one-time occurrence or if it's going to keep popping up for the rest of the season. Isaiah Bond, I don't trust the Browns, but he's running more routes. He's very explosive. We got to get right at quarterback. But his work rate has been increasing, especially these last 3 games. 65% snap rate, then a 55%, 57%, 4 targets, 6 targets, 7 targets. He's probably one of those gets off the waiver wire that you're waiting to see if he puts it together. Alec Pierce will eventually be back, and he's been getting volume, and his volume's deep downfield. He has 2 games of 10-plus PPR fantasy points, 10.8 and 10.7, but still, this is a wide receiver that's going to get the deep ball downfield. He splashed big time, like 4 or 5 times last year with big time production. And Danny Dimes is going to toss it downfield. 80 Mitchell's in the doghouse right now. And Alec Pierce is going to benefit from that. Luther Burden is a lottery ticket wide receiver with immense upside. There are not many wide receivers left on the waiver wire that could turn it over and become a big-time asset at wide receiver for the NFL and for fantasy for the rest of the year and for multiple years. Luther Burden's one of them. He's one of those wide receivers that has top-end pedigree. 5-star recruit out of high school, good market share production metrics out of college. Should have got drafted in the 1st round. Everyone pegged for that. When he was in camp, he missed a lot of it due to injury, especially minicamp and training camp. So he's a little bit raw right now to the system of the Bears, so they're ramping him up. This might be more for next year, But you never know where this could rear his head, and he starts getting more opportunity and starts splashing. Mason Taylor, we've been talking about him every single week off the waiver wire. Now's your time. 7 targets in week 4, 12 targets in week 5. If you want to extend it out to week 3, it's 6, 7, and 12. He's getting volume. He looks good. Has a good pedigree from LSU. Looks like a good NFL caliber tight end. And he's starting to get to work early in this offense. We do have Denver, Carolina, and Cincy coming up. So Denver might be iffy for you, but Carolina and Cincy, those could be good matchups for you. Taysom Hill, lottery ticket player. You don't know what you're going to get. He's not projectable, but one thing about him is we are seeing him on the field a little bit, 14% snap share. We saw him throw the ball. We saw him do a few things out there. Maybe this ramps up to be more, but he's always just a lineup gamble. You can't ask whether or not you can start him. You know he's a lineup gamble. You know what you're getting with Taysom Hill. Theo Johnson, 2 touchdowns in week 5, 1 touchdown in week 4. Jaxson darts all over the place, but he is locking into Theo Johnson. 5 targets in week 4, 7 in week 5. So there's opportunity here that this continues with Jaxson Dart. So Theo Johnson's a tight end to look at and a new name at the tight end position to pick up because you're sick of Bretton Strange. Those are the players big fantasy football's talking about this week off the waiver. I'm talking about like Yahoo, PFF, ESPN, the big sites, not the mom and pop sites, but the big sites. So you got an idea of what I think about what the big media is saying, the market, about the top waiver wire claims. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the top 20 or so running backs off the waiver wire for your deeper leagues, shallow leagues, everything in between. Same thing with wide receivers. Usually the running backs come out early, wide receivers come out later that night, and then Wednesday we do all the positions. Click that subscribe button. Stop missing out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.